My mom used to always perform with a bunch of other women in old age homes when it was a bunch of other middle-aged women dressed in kind of very short, very patriotic skirts, and they would go and sing these old 1930s, 1940s show tunes for these old folks.
Right.
And I would go as a little kid and watch them perform and jump on their laps and play with their necks and things like that. And I feel like that was my first real introduction.
This was the performance, not the old people. You weren't jumping on their laps.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you were. Excellent.
Oh yes,
excellent.
For sure. I was really just playing with them, and it was my first sort of real interaction with bringing joy.
My name is John Pirkis, and this is Diary of an Actor. Our guest today, Daniel Passer. Daniel is not only an actor, but he is also acclaimed Cirque du Soleil clown and master teacher at Harvard, Brown, Second City, and indeed Moscow Arts.
Knew that I would do that I would go to drama school. That was always in my thought. I'd looked at my favorite performers growing up, and they had all gone to Yale. The head of Yale, through all of these great actors that I really liked, was named Robert Brustein. So he was the head of the school, head of the theater, and he had moved from Yale to start his own company at Harvard. So that, in the end, that's where I decided to go. Afterwards, you're brought into the company to do one show, and then given your equity card and encouraged to go. I was in my final year of school, and I was doing a lot of Molière, Goldoni, things like that. But other than reading in books, I didn't really know what Commedia dell'Arte was. The theater was asked to represent the country in an international Commedia dell'Arte stage. Robert Brustein asked me to represent the theater for this. The instructions were show up at the gate of Vicenza at 2 o'clock with gray sweatpants, a white t-shirt, and mime shoes. That was it. So this was how I first came into this world, which couldn't have been a better introduction into it.
Let's go! Apple pie! Join us next week with our special guest, Banana Cream.
So you came back and did theatre work in the States?
I did. There was a company in Los Angeles called the Actors Gang. I started to play with them, and again, it was another heyday. So Tim Robbins was still directing in the company. Jack Black was in the company with me. Yeah. And a director I'd worked with for a long time came and we did a show together of Imaginary Invalid that ended up being a show that we went on tour with and ended up being a great experience too.
So then, how did Cirque du Soleil come about?
One of the main clowns from Cirque du Soleil, John Gilkey, he saw that show and one other show that I had worked on. And then he was working under Franco Dragone, and he was creating the clown numbers and asked me to come in from that. And that was a big turn. I'd never planned on, I certainly didn't intend to go into Commedia dell'Arte, and then I had no real thought of joining Cirque du Soleil. Like, that wasn't in my plan.
And how was that? Because I've heard Cirque du Soleil is pretty darn tough.
It is.
On its performance. It's very demanding.
We had to come in, for our first entrance for Dragone, we came in from, I think it must have been 60 feet up. We came in on quick release harnesses, came in, undid, ran around and then dove in the water, put our hands out, and then we're swum down 20 feet before we went out. And so there were moments of danger. You get 6 to 8 months of rehearsal. So it's amazing the amount that you get to explore, the resources you have. You have an idea, and then suddenly it's built for you.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, it didn't quite work. You go on to the next, and so it's incredible in that way. On the reverse side, the stakes are very high. Once you're in the theater, it's full tech for 3 months. So you're in the theater all the time, ready for action. At any moment your name is called, you run on stage. Full effects, water effects, light effects, everything is in play. So the amount of money at stake is tangible.
And those eat oats. Those eat oats. And come on. What?
You're also a master teacher, so that you're handing this incredible knowledge and craft on. And so, where does that take you?
My favorite teachers have always been people who practiced in the field. So they weren't just teaching, and so I always saw that from the people who I really admired. And from a very early time, I would pass that on. So when I was with Second City, I was asked to teach there. And then when people would see, it started when people would see a show, they would say, they would ask me to come and teach what I did. They would be, oh, could you teach that? And I was like, no, but I can teach what my favorite teachers have taught me. I can pass that on. And so I feel like I get as much from it as the people who I'm teaching, for sure. I rediscover it each time, and I get to see what it looks like to see it grow in someone else. And I find it really rewarding. I love it.
Sure.
I love it.
What other challenges have you experienced in your career?
The biggest challenges are when you start to get into that mode of waiting. You're waiting for someone else, you're waiting for a call, you're waiting for opportunities in that way. Create. Just create. Work. Keep working. Work gets work. All of that. All of that's true. And play with the people you love, because you're going to be spending a lot of time with them.
What piece of advice have you had that you would, you wish you'd had earlier on at stages of your career that that you look to pass on?
Andre Belgrader, and he's this amazing Romanian director. There were 2 things he said. One was, when you go in for auditions, you have to convince yourself you do not need it. And still, it's a big challenge, but when I really believe that, is usually when I do the best. You're trying to be good. Anyone can be good. It truly takes a genius to truly suck. And the advice seems counterintuitive, but it was really spot on. That fear of doing good work is paralyzing.
Yeah.
It's paralyzing, and it makes you do very safe choices. In the moment where you go past that and are like, you know what? The worst that happens is I suck.
Yeah.
Is the moment when something truly great can happen.
Daniel, again, thank you so much. And thank you for watching Actor's Notes.
My name is Daniel Passer, and this is Diary of an Actor.